Hi everyone. For today's review, we'll be looking at KW's perfect cell, and this is KW006 B. And honestly, I'm surprised that I even received this figure because it was scheduled, I think, to release like last second quarter or last year, so they kept on moving it up. So if you order from AliExpress, like after 3 months, some sellers either even if they get the item later on, they don't want to honor it for that price. So and then if the item doesn't get released, you have to cancel those orders. So you have to place sometimes like two or three separate orders because some sellers are not even gonna pull through once the item does ship or it doesn't ship. So and on this one, I pretty much had canceled all my orders, and this one slipped away. And I guess what happened when it was supposed to be shipped, because AliExpress gives them a time to ship them. It seems like the seller received this item in stock, and I was surprised too because I did ask the seller, "Hey, is this item shipping?" And they were like, "Yeah, it is." And the seller is trustable. I think it's like Treasure Hall Toys on AliExpress, if I'm correct. I'll leave the name in the description, but they're a reliable seller. But yeah, it's like in this one, I was pretty much gonna cancel it too as well because once I saw some of the prototypes and then some of the early reviews, I'm like, oh man, this figure's not looking great. But let me review myself and find out for myself as well. So it does come with two boxes, as you can see. No, figuarts display. I guess you know they're not scared right now. All the factories, so they're trying to limit all the copyright lawsuits, or the factory just shutting down on them or getting raided. So I don't know if China is tightening up on those laws or something, but it seems like it is getting difficult, for knockoff manufacturers over there as well. So, but yeah, nothing fancy to the boxes. It's just this one has a green shaded box with some of the cell pattern there. So that's pretty much as Dragon Ball Z is gonna get. So what I noticed, this one says 6A and 6B. So that's another thing that I noticed too from another reviewer, is that they were mixed up. So I guess I'll find out if they mixed up the accessories, because one is supposed to be the anime version and then one is supposed to be the manga version. Okay, so based on these arms, crossed arms, they're purple. So hopefully the other one matches the same color as well. But this is a green box, so it's mostly the hands. Brand whole new, a whole different head, the crossed arms, some peg there, and 4 different faces, the Kamehameha blast effect. And let me open the other box. So this is the box with the figure. So let's see. Oh yeah, they are mixed up. Great. So here it is. Yeah, this is mixed up as well. So I ended up with the manga version on the body. But what are we gonna do? So on the figure with the box is just the figure itself. No other accessories. And here's a figure out of the box. It does feel, a little bit better than a Dragon Ball Stars figure, but the quality right away, like, it doesn't feel like $100 figure or 120 that some people ended up paying for this figure. And I think I ended up paying like $80 plus AliExpress had their monthly coupon, so maybe like 75. But yeah, the wings are not holding up well. They do fall off easily. No, not this one, but this one. See, so the peg here is not a mushroom peg, so nothing holds it in place. So when you're moving it around, it's easily to fall off. And then the plastic too, used for all the articulation points. It seems like it's that fragile knockoff plastic seen on some average KO. So who knows what the endurance is on this joint. So, but see the knee, it gives up right away. So what I do like about this figure too is the plastic they use on cell skin, the matte finish too as well. There's no shading, but it's that soft rubbery plastic. And they did use some sort of metallic paint here, as you can see. So it's not really black, it's more like a gunmetal, maybe like a gunmetal paint mixed with black in there. But nice paint finish. Unfortunately, yeah, and then now the upper chest too is just moving all over the place. So yeah, it's a disappointment that this figure was in production for close to 2 years and they still managed to get it wrong. So I don't know if it was all the factory shutting down that KW maybe got nervous and they just decided, hey, we already have the money in pre-orders, and maybe they got greedy and said, hey, let's just release it, we'll make money. But it's leaving a lot of people disappointed, that's for sure. The quality is not there. I mean, if you expect to pay, pretty much that's what's irritating too, along with third parties, Dragon Ball Z third parties, is that these third parties want to charge the same or more as P Bandai now. Because I mean, if P Bandai were to release this now, yeah, it's probably gonna be like $90 to $100, but you can at least guarantee that the quality is hopefully gonna be a little bit better than this figure. Which I say hopefully, because we know Bandai too, sometimes they don't get it right either. But yeah, it's standard, figuarts articulation, pretty much getting the articulation from the first figure, improving some aspects to it. But I haven't seen anything unique to the figure itself. I mean, it does get some great range on the hips too. Double jointed knee. Standard ankle articulation. It doesn't get much in the way of the armor. But then, like, just plastic color stands out a lot. They didn't even bother painting it or getting like a matte yellow. It's just this like gloss yellow. And he does rotate at the hips. A little bit of diaphragm articulation as well, so no ab. He does have a butterfly joint. It's really well done. It has nice it's friction holding it together. And I don't know how the shoulder armor is connected. Okay, so it looks like there is a piece in there. Let me see if I can get a close-up. So this piece right there that rotates with the armor. So that is a nicely added detail, but unfortunately, just for you can get articulation. The shoulder armor moves around, so yeah. And the elbow feels a bit loose. It does have double jointed elbow articulation, but see, the cell armor here gets in the way, so you get as much as range. And then bicep articulation, nice shoulder articulation as well, so you're able to get a lot of range in there. And then see, some of the metal here is exposed on the elbow. You know, the standard wrist joint articulation that we're familiar with a figuarts. And on the back, you know, is if you had the imperfect cell, it's pretty much the same articulation point on the wings. And like I mentioned, this figure, just how the joint is not a mushroom joint, sometimes the wings fall off easily. And here's a closer look at the actual cell face. I mean, the sculpt does look great. I think, you know, there's some paint errors on the face. Sometimes the paint just, you know, on some faces does is not the best it's not what is it, what's the word, I guess the paint sometimes doesn't align with some of the lines too on the figure. Like this one, let's see, like the bottom of the face. I don't know if it's easy to tell on the camera. But like the yellow, there's like a yellow dot. It's like it's darker in front. And then this one has no eyes, so I don't know what happened there. Yeah, not the best faces, and I'm not a big fan of the plastic color they used. It looks very pale. I know that, you know, they did it this way to avoid, you know, having to paint the face, but then it just makes the figure look more like a knockoff, unfortunately. But yes, for the faces, you know, to connect them is one solid piece. And then, you know, it comes with two pegs, so you just connect them there. And I don't know if they were gonna make it 4 pegs. As you can see, there's 4 holes, but you're only using the 2 in the middle to connect the faces. Let me pop off this face here, or head, I should say. So there's the connection there for the neck. So push it down. Hopefully it doesn't break. Let me see. Hopefully I don't break it. Let's see. I'm not sure if I saw somebody say that, yeah, if this was easy to exchange, so I may have to connect it off camera. Let me try. Okay, so I managed to get the peg in the neck joint, but see, even here, this piece, as soon as I connected it, it popped off out of place. So And then when I tried to connect it there's no connection. I don't know if it was meant to be glued there and just stay in place, but ever since I connected the peg for the head, it just moves around. So I don't know. Now I'm more disappointed on the figure itself. Because yeah, it doesn't lock in place anymore, and since the shape of it is on a circle, it just moves around. So yeah, another drawback on this figure. So at least let's try this face and see. Okay, well, it's holding up, so let me display the whole figure. So while the figure does look great, standing there, yeah, it's just unfortunate how much of bad quality control the figure has. And let me compare it to other figures. So here he is standing with the Sales Begins, not the Sales Begins, the Games Begins Goku, which I don't know why they didn't call it the Cell Games, but so he does tower a little, over Goku, which is great. People wanted a taller Cell compared to the version 1. And then, this is the previously released Cell Juniors. Just so you can see how he scales with them, which he scales with them decently. I did think that the Cells Junior, they have a bigger head than they should have, but I think even in the anime, their head was a little bit bigger than it should have been anyway. So, it's just a typical anime head on kids, so it's gonna be a lot larger than usual. But yeah, I did notice some issues on the Cell Juniors, and part of it was how the joints seem to be connected on some cheap plastic. And two, the plastic used for like the faces too, that they decided not to paint them. So I kind of saw that saw that issue, that it was gonna be carried over to the Cell figure, and unfortunately it was. So I don't know why they didn't take in that feedback. And then the other thing that I mentioned too was the cross arms. And like I said, unfortunately, as you can see, they're color purple, which was the version that I wanted. But it seems the anime cross hands are like on a lighter green than the manga version. So I'm not even gonna bother trying to, put on the crossed arms. I'm just gonna leave the figure as is. And then for hands, I'm just gonna switch out some handsy. There goes a hand. Okay. Yeah, the hands are really tight. Wish they would have applied the same quality to the neck. There we go. So if you're familiar, he's gonna do like the little messenger autopilot when he's connecting to messenger. So let me know if you're familiar with the that anime. It's a robot anime. And then the other one, the other effect too that it comes with is the standard, Kamehameha effect, but I don't know, the figure has too many issues that I don't even care to assemble it and put in the hands together. So I apologize for that, but let me know if you bought this figure or planning on getting it. If you're disappointed on the quality control on it, especially taking 2 years to release a figure. And honestly, if you're planning on getting it, do not overspend like $80 on it. I think the prices are gonna come down on AliExpress and all the sellers online. So take your time, especially now that all the reviews are out. So definitely don't pay more than $100 for this figure. It's not worth it. Because we don't know even if P Bandai is going to release their version. It's probably going to be $80 to $90 anyway. So and hopefully too, I hope that P Bandai does take notice of this figure. And maybe some of the unfortunate things that it comes with. Once you scale out the figure, like the weight, the wings, maybe integrate new joint system in there that they haven't done before. But so far, yeah, this figure, honestly, it would have been great if it would have been like $50, something like that, 50, 60. But yeah, some sellers were trying to sell it to like 120, 130. So yeah, a lot of buyers are definitely disappointed on this. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this figure. And once again, thank you for watching the review. Let me know if you have any questions. Please give it a like and share.